The garden rescue team are on a mission.
Look at that!
To create beautiful green spaces in family homes.
What do you think?
I think that's super cool.
And make people's garden dreams come true.
Fab.
Charlie Dimmock
Pushes the boundaries out.
the much-loved queen of the family garden.
What could go wrong?
The Rich Brothers,
Good luck, boyo.
creators of classy, trend-setting outdoor spaces.
It's such a nice pop of colour, isn't it?
And Arit Anderson,
That's brilliant.
an award-winning designer with a distinctive sense of style.
A lot of these plants are quite easy to maintain.
They're here to answer garden emergencies
There is a lot to be done.
based on the client's needs and budget.
So I think it's definitely challenging.
2 sets of designers create and pitch Ooh, garden plans.
Wow.
But only one can win.
Oh, Shazza.
Has to help them build it.
Oh, look at that!
This is what happens when 2 different styles collide
What's not to love?
to turn garden dreams into reality.
Oh, Charlie, I love you.
That's a bit better, isn't it?
Today, the Rich Brothers take on Charlie to transform a young couple's plain plot into a sleek, modern look.
Here we've got Jackie and we've got Yang, and they're from Trowbridge.
Okay, nice.
Look how young we look there.
That was a good night, though.
We met at university. First year, we were in the same halls of residence.
Yeah.
And it kind of just went from there.
Got this house as our first house. Moved in about 2 years ago.
Yeah. So we just splashed all our cash doing up the inside and just neglected the garden. And now we really...
Oh,
There's a lot going on there, isn't there?
That is looking like a real mishmash, isn't it? Stone wall, old paving slabs.
So the garden at the moment is very plain. It's square, and there's nothing really of any interest in there,
No,
at
it's
all.
just bare.
they like the idea of having a modern garden. And I think at the moment it's anything but modern.
Looks sort of quite oldie, come family garden.
And there's a further member of the household to consider.
When we met at uni, having the dog was one of the things we always talked about. We love dogs, and just over a year ago, we finally got one, our Labrador Cooper. Good boy. Can we sit? Beg, beg. Good boy. And he's just the most bouncy dog.
He's amazing. Really.
Yeah, he is. It'd be nice to have that area for him to run around in.
Colour.
Yeah, lots of colour.
We'd like colour, some structure. It's very square, so we feel that it's just a bit boring.
Yeah, and we want 2 extremes as well. We want it somewhere where we can entertain guests, but also somewhere we can go out and relax. If you can get that right, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
And the budget is £3,500. So really it's about creating a modern garden from something that isn't. It's about creating a flower-filled garden, something it isn't. And it's just creating a lovely space that they can enjoy now in their new home.
To take a closer look at Jackie and Yang's uninspiring plot, Charlie and the Rich Brothers head to Trowbridge in Wiltshire.
I mean, look at that. Mismatch of slabs.
Straight in there. Yeah,
Looks-
it is, isn't it?
It looks a bit different from the photos, though.
Looks a bit bigger.
This very narrow
Yeah.
flower bed.
That's got to come out, isn't it, surely?
Yeah. 3 different types of paving.
One type of grass.
Well, the grass is all right. They obviously mow it, but it's a
Um,
nice size.
Yeah, it's a lovely size and nice and sunny.
I mean, it's baking, isn't it? There's nothing... I mean, there's no shade here at all.
So there's 3 sort of different patio. They're all squares, but not matching.
Yeah.
I just feel like there's a lot of random things in the garden. Like, the edging just looks random, and obviously with the way all the paving is random, and the areas of gravel are, all the ornaments.
Yeah.
What are those pebbles there for?
Do you want me to ask them about
If
it?
possible. Can you ask
Well,
them?
I've asked them about pebbles. Well, you get inside and you find out some info that's going to be useful to me, and I'll find out about the pebbles.
We'll tell you everything, I promise. That's nice in here, look at that.
Oh, great space.
Blue, a nice little colour.
I'm
to it.
ignoring the kitchen entirely.
Oh,
Look who this is.
Look at this.
Cooper?
Hey, Coop.
Is that Cooper?
Hello, boy. Can we enter? Can we?
Yeah,
Boy.
look at that. He's Fantastic.
Boy.
Jackie Yang.
Hello.
Hello.
Lovely sized garden, I have to say. Definitely fence and lawn and many patios. And very square.
Very square.
Do you not like square?
Not really.
I don't mind it, but at the moment
It's just
it's
too-
bare and square.
Yes. So which makes it look even squarer and plainer, doesn't it?
Yes.
So with a bouncy dog, I'm sure you want to keep some lawn in the garden.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
So we definitely want lawn.
I love these. It's a bit slate.
It feels quite minimal, like a nice refined dining area, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think in the garden, I think keeping it quite simple.
Like this nice rhythm of like shapes as well. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it
all the
is.
same, quite neat, orderly, geometric.
Yes.
We could even something be quite cool, wouldn't it?
Or even the garden is just made up of interlinking rectangles.
Yeah, look
or
at that.
squares. That's quite cool, isn't it?
What sort of garden? Do you want modern? Do you want cottagey?
If I describe it in 2 words, it'd be sleek and modern.
Sleek and modern?
Yeah.
I do that so well. Are there any sort of plants that you really like or would like to see in the garden?
I like the big sort of flower heads.
So you like big and blousy?
Yes. Yeah.
But sleek and modern?
if possible, if they can combine slightly.
The juxtaposed position we're going for. But you're probably aware that there's quite a lot of plants that are toxic to dogs.
Okay.
But having said that, you've got a box there, and that's toxic to the dog. So he's obviously got to 2 years old and been fine. So for me, with dogs, it's like training them.
Yeah.
Don't let them just eat everything.
Oh, super cosy space.
Yep.
That colour purple, that's definitely quite a vibrant wall, isn't it?
It is very vibrant, and I think that's exactly what the garden's missing at the moment. It's got no colour. It's got no room filled with it.
Yeah.
So I'm probably through the plants,
I think so.
picking up on those tones. I think would be fantastic, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, I wonder what Cooper thinks. Cooper? Cooper,
Come on, big boy.
what do you reckon?
Oh,
Do you reckon we've got this one? Do you reckon we've got this one?
Hey, yeah.
You reckon?
Hey, yeah.
So we just need to accommodate the dog. Bit of shade, maybe, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, it
Maybe
sounds
we'll
like anything goes, really.
Yeah, I think free reign, really. We're happy with
Yeah, it's at that point
whatever you
where
decide.
anything's better than what we've got, really.
Yeah, definitely.
Time for Charlie and the Rich brothers to share the information they've gleaned from the visit.
That's going to be a tough one, isn't it?
Well, there's
Talk about
not a lot
slabs.
there, is there?
There isn't. But I suppose that's a good thing. Start from scratch.
Do you like starting from scratch? I'm not so keen.
Fueled with inspiration, our rival designers get straight to work on a modern garden for this young couple. Each fashion a plan to fit the £3,500 budget. Jackie and Yang then choose their favourite, and the losing designer helps the winner build the garden. Labour is supplied for free by Charlie, the Rich brothers, and their team of landscapers. Back in Trowbridge, it's time for the pitch.
I can feel the excitement already. Look at the smiles.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Fantastic. Okay. Have quite a modern garden.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somewhere that had nice clean lines, nice structure. A garden that provides you with a couple of different seating areas.
Yeah.
We're leaving the slabs by the house.
Uh-huh.
But as soon as you step up onto this, these are clean slabs,
Right.
modern grey stone.
Yeah.
And they're going to lead you through this area. And then this material here is going to be like a bound gravel. Through the garden, we've got this low topiarized hedge, so that's just going to create a nice bit of structure. And what that's going to do is it's just going to combine the whole garden together, get rid of all this mishmash, and make it feel like a garden that's really been considered.
Yeah.
The Rich brothers have gone for a modern, structured plan, utilising a mix of materials. But how will Charlie tackle the sleek, contemporary look that the couple desire?
So I have gone for framing views and framing areas with sanded timber structures.
Right.
So I didn't want fuddy-duddy pergolas and things like that. So I've literally got a cube here,
Okay.
another cube, and another cube.
Yeah.
This cube here frames the view out of your kitchen window. So it's this view. So you'll look out and see lots of colour.
Yeah.
Then our next cube is a shady zone. We've got a feature tree in the centre that will come up and over, so it'll give you the shade. That's going to be a gravel base that binds down and makes a solid surface. And then to the next cube, which is the chill out zone.
So Charlie's gone for a very different approach, using cube structures to bring a modern feel and to divide the garden. A spot to relax as well as a space for entertaining are high on Jackie and Yang's priority list.
So the idea is that we've got this seating area as you come out of the house, and then as you wander through these stepping stones, you come to this back area. This space then will be more of a relaxation area, somewhere that you can sit down, read a book, under the canopy.
To have the seating area enclosed, it means this has its own identity. This bit of the garden is for entertaining when you have friends around. It's a lovely space to gather.
This is the entertainment area with a bespoke table and bench and festoon lighting going off to the corners of each of these modern cube pergolas. So this area here is timber, so it's a deck area, big enough for a nice sort of modern sprawly settee with cushions. Plinth in the centre with a fire bowl, and there's something about that that's quite comforting. So for the...
But it's not all about chilling out for Charlie.
And you look like a young couple
Yes.
that are fun and in love. So what I've done is put a couple of little swings on there. We're never too old for swings.
No, we're not.
To sit there in the shade in this area here.
Both plans seem to... But what about the all-important planting?
So whereas this will be more evergreens, low growing, things that you can step over, this will be a lot taller, more of an ornamental meadow in the way that you're a bit more colourful. You'll get movement through grasses. You'll get different perennials popping up at different times of the year. And the plants that we choose are going to make sure that they're easy to maintain, because I know that's not something you guys want to be, you know, controlling your life.
And then we've left an ample bit of lawn. And the Cooper has lots of energy.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
That's probably all his.
Definitely.
Planting-wise, I've gone for quite glamorous and simple, but also easy to look after. So Hemerocallis, which is a daylily, and they come in a range of colours and they're quite glamorous. This one comes in a very deep, dark red. I will leave you contemplating.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it, guys.
Nice, thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank
See you
you.
in a bit.
The pitches are over.
We've got a big decision to make.
But only one garden can win.
Finally, both of them together.
Yeah. Should we start with the Rich Brothers?
Yeah, let's go.
So I like the stepping stones here
Yeah,
into
that's
the
lovely.
seating area. I really do like that.
Yeah, and they were saying this is going to be that sort of grey slate, so modern, which we like.
We had like almost like a little front space, which was divided by some topiary hedging.
Okay.
And there was a dining table and an area where you step over stepping stones through some planting.
So shall we go on to Charlie's?
Yeah, I love these cubes, these free sections, especially with the different textures. It makes them feel different.
I had cubes.
Whoa, 3D?
Yeah, 3D
How
squares.
does that work?
Well, they're just cubes.
This lovely bit of grass for Cooper to
Yeah.
sprint in. I've got the corner so I can tree as well.
The last square, which is here, and that had one big, beautiful multi-stem tree. It's quite tranquil.
I feel like he's pitching to you now, Charlie.
I know.
Are you going to choose our design?
Yeah, I choose your design. It's very nice.
Good, what do you think? What do you think? Oh, you think that one, do you? Oh, what about this one? What about this one, Coop?
What do you think?
Yours sounds pretty modern, Chaz.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. Not convinced.
Well, the reveal will reveal everything.
Yes, we're soon going to find out.
Both designs have hit the sleek and top. Time to find out.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, guys.
We have to come to a decision.
Very difficult one.
I know you've heard this 1,000 times, but it was
Really,
so
really hard.
difficult.
It sounds like you.
Don't change your mind now.
I know,
Go
we haven't
with it.
changed mine, but
Yeah, we loved them both, didn't we?
both amazing.
Yeah. So
Who's the winner?
the winner is
The
cubes.
All the cubes.
Looks fantastic.
Looks very cool.
I'm very excited about this, I have to say, because I don't do modern and sleek. And
You do now?
Yeah, it's lovely.
I like these structures. I think lots of structures give a garden some height and there's pizzazz.
Pizzazz. We should get Yang to do our pitches.
I knew we were missing something, and it was the pizzazz.
Pizzazz, not lovely, pizzazz.
It's a brilliant victory for Charlie, but she'll need the Rich brothers' help if she's to transform this plain patch into a modern structured space. It's the start of the build in Wiltshire, but it's a drizzly start. Andy, his son Sam, along with Lee, project manager Paul and Steve arrive on site.
Come on lads, rain stopped. Yeah.
Right, let me squeeze in.
Squeeze in.
Let me squeeze in. Right. Oh.
Wow.
Well, it's a cubist design law. It's a Charlie design. Yeah, it is, isn't it? So, big deck in the corner there.
Yeah.
And then these huge, great big chunky cubes.
Yeah.
So it's all big sleeper timber. No water feature.
No
thank God.
patio.
No patio.
Loads of woodwork then.
So it's a bit of a tough job to start off with. Lots of structure, and then in between, Charlie's got lots of planting that flows through. And then quite a big area of lawn. And a swing as well, if you just couldn't... In fact, two swings. Two swings on this middle cube here.
How long are we here for? A week?
Yeah, about a week.
Well,
We've got enough.
Yeah,
we better get on with
now,
it.
innit?
Let's go.
But before construction begins, the first job is to remove the tired old planters.
Oh, it's coming out, look.
Yes.
Demolition may not be the most popular spectator sport, but Lee and Steve offer support from the terraces.
Please, lot. Get that deck done.
Enjoy it while you can.
That deck won't do itself. I'll be laughing at you in a bit, don't worry.
Lee and Steve begin by marking out the main decking area at the far corner of the plot. The couple's existing lawn is still perfectly usable, so it's being protected by sheeting as the demolition continues. Lee and Steve crack on with the raised deck. 3 interlocking cubes, constructed from huge oak beams and raised sleepers. It's carpentry on a grand scale, but it requires absolute precision or the stunning visual effect will be lost. Lee fixes temporary wooden blocks on the uprights to help position the cross beams at the top.
This oak being green oak, and because the posts are quite high, because we're having a deck built in the bottom, it's you've got to be all hands on deck when we come to lift them into place. That's why we've put the timbers on. So once it's up there, we've not got to rely on manpower to hold them in place.
Just as well, as manpower seems to be what's lacking.
Oh no, we've been caught. We've been caught.
With the main structures nearly complete, Lee's now able to begin the decking. Right on schedule for the arrival of Charlie and the Rich brothers.
I'm quite shocked.
How come?
Well, I won this design, this modern and sleek.
Yeah, I mean, we're still getting over it, to be honest.
So I think you guys are going to have to try and keep me on the straight and narrow.
Is that so you don't detour back off the Dingley
Down.
Dell? Pond?
Okay, yeah, it's going to be a bit like that. But this is also about a garden entertainment space. So they want a nice sort of And also somewhere to sit that's nice and calm and quiet.
Lovely.
So I'm going to get you guys on making a beautiful bench for the patio.
Fantastic. Important.
And table.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. And Jack and Yang, they're not really gardeners. So I'm going to be concentrating on plants that are going to make their life a bit easier.
And of course,
yeah,
the chap we met indoors.
Cooper.
Oh, Cooper. Yes, we can't forget Cooper.
Yeah.
I know my dog, when it's boiling hot, they always want somewhere shady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So perhaps we make a little seating area for him.
Look after Cooper. Oh, Chaz, look at this.
Wow! God, look at those cubes! Amazing. Still looking modern and sleek, and I keep them modern and sleek. I think they look amazing, and they've really added a lot of height to the garden. When I designed it, I wanted to be able to see the thickness of the timbers. So you're going to actually see the edge so that you see an actual cube, because if they went straight into the ground and you didn't have that bottom piece of, it would just look like a big pergola. So the third cube is under construction, and this cube frames the view out the kitchen window. There are going to be 2 flower beds here that are going to be full of colourful planting. Then you come into this cube, there's going to be a big feature tree here, and this is going to be a sort of semi-quiet area, and there's space to go out onto the lawn. 1 swing here, 2nd swing there, and then you've got the deck at the bottom of the garden, so that's going to be sort of the quiet zone for Jackie and Yang to relax. At the moment, it's not very quiet.
Charlie's contemporary cube design divides the large open garden into a range of more intimate, character-filled spaces. Also key is a spot for the couple to entertain. Charlie's modern plan calls for some serious carpentry. She splashed out £700 on oak for the cubes and £300 on western red cedar for the decking.
Now, Charlie's used a lot of wood within the garden, and believe it or not, it's about 2/3 of the budget. But when you look at it, it actually creates the bones and the structure to this whole garden. Now, I'm cutting some wood for the bench, which is softwood. We've also got quite a bit of hardwood in the garden.
And how do you tell the difference between a softwood and a hardwood? Now, if you pick up a piece of softwood, generally pine, it's a lot lighter. And the reason for that is because the gaps between the rings are spaced out a lot more, and that means it's faster growth. And actually, if you look at the rings here, in between there, it's a lot softer. I can actually dig my nail into that, and that's the reason that it's lighter. So if you were to pick up a piece of hardwood, like this oak here, the rings are incredibly close together. Slower growing timber is a lot stronger and a lot denser. And that's why hardwoods like oak are so beautiful to use for structures outdoors and indoors. But of course, pine has its uses.
Charlie's gone for a cheaper option, pine, for the table and benches. The cedar used for the decking is longer lasting than pine, but more affordable than oak. With Harry and David making the furniture, Charlie's taking
Hatch. So we got some jute rope, nice strong rope, but I'm having to actually splice it together to make a hoop to put the clip on to attach to the timbers. It's quite fiddly. So I've done 1.5. I've only got another 2 to go. Can you not skip?
On level ground, team.
Cinderella, Bunderella, turn her around. Cinderella, Bunderella, touch the ground.
That is the scariest thing I've done in a long time. Harry, go on, have a go, mate. You can't hurt yourself. Oh, I've gone really...
No, you finish the bench.
Yeah, I've gone really lightheaded.
I'll try later.
frivolity over, it's back to the hard graft. And the Rich brothers are stretching their carpentry skills.
Now this is one section of our table nearly complete. We've decided to do something a little bit different, a finger joint. So as you can see, we've got two complementary profiles that slot into one another. And this is going to help give it a lot of stability. So when we glue that and then bang them together, it's going to hold them that much tighter. And also, I think it looks pretty cool as well.
The clever no-nail table is destined for the social patio space at the front of the garden, while Charlie's swings will hang from the central cube.
So these We've got the fittings, those to go through, then we got clips, then the seat. And I'm thinking just very simple piece of board.
Yeah.
And I presume,
That 2 foot.
well, the ropes need to be about that far apart, don't they? And then the board.
Yeah.
So about that far by...
2 foot for the thing.
2 foot? No, that's a bit narrow. I think that's a bit... I think it should be a bit bigger. Like that. Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just like that, yeah. I can't do mine because mine's way... Oh, you might be right with 2 foot. Cool. And we want one here, sort of middle for diddle.
Yeah.
And then whatever measurement off of there to that one is there.
So they're not really, they're more like an intimate sitting space.
Yeah,
rather
like,
than
but
a
so you
massive
can
big
just sit here and knock knees. It's nice to knock knees with someone on occasion.
Knee pads on our
I'm probably a double knot, but I've made it so tight I can't knot it down. Oh, hello. Swings, trees. Oh, yeah, I'll come back to that later.
The middle cube will also house a large feature tree.
Can you take it fractionally that way?
Yep.
So I really quite like that because that sort of hides that third cube at the back there, so it makes it private, but there's still enough space to go walk through, get onto the lawn, get onto the swings, get onto there.
Yeah. Okay.
We might just do a few different positions of it, like spinning it round.
Yeah.
Yeah? This is a Acer palmatum dissectum cereus, and it's foliaged, dissected leaf. The leaves are gorgeous. They almost looks like lace. Really, really delicate and frondy. It's lime green in the spring, and it will make a canopy about 4 metres across by 4 metres high. So it's going to literally make a roof over this cube. And I think they're going to love it.
It's perfect.
No, it's not perfect. It's got to be turned around just a little bit that way. No, that's clockwise. That's anti-clockwise.
So you want me to go back in time now?
No, we're not cutting, no. No, it's got to come right the way back. I preferred it as where it was originally.
Oh, my God. Come on.
I might leave the garden very shortly.
The cube at the back of the garden is the decked chill-out area. To soften the edges of the space with a few pots.
That's all the drainage holes drilled in the pots. Because I wanted to keep that modern sort of sleek theme, I've gone for ones that sort of match, that are not too fussy. Dark colours, light colours. So they match, but they don't match. And what I want to do is plant them up with evergreens. I want to give a nice lot of structure in the garden all year round. Now, I would have loved to have filled them with lots of different types of clipped box. Pyramids, spirals, boxes, but box plants are very expensive. This one here, £40. This one here, £65, £75. This one here, just under 100. So to make the budget go further, I'm going to mix in some other evergreens.
She adds ivy and rosemary at a cost of £15 each.
Oh yeah, right, this might take me some time.
His design leaves Jackie and Yang with a large section of the lawn for Cooper the dog. And she also wants to add a little extra for the family pooch.
A lot of the time in landscaping there are some spare things lying around, and underneath these bags of gravel we've got 2 perfectly good pallets. Now earlier on Charlie gave us the task of creating a nice little bit of shade at the back of the garden for the dog Cooper. For these pallets, they're not only come in free of charge, they're going to look great, and also it saves us throwing them away as well. Right, where is he? Where's that boy?
That's the roof. Let's lean out here, shall
That's a sturdy pallet, that.
we? Yes.
Very handy. Well, there we are. The 4th cube in the garden, slightly smaller.
No.
So I think it'll work quite well, actually. It mimics the shape of the garden. It's just going to be really simple. We've got a pallet on the bottom. We've got these uprights. the top pallet as the roof. Cooper's a lucky dog.
With the Rich brothers busy with the doghouse, Lee lends a hand and his carpentry skills to finish the bespoke table and benches. Charlie spent £100 on materials for this custom-made furniture.
Pump, otherwise you're gonna... No! Cool, man. Yeah!
With the garden shaping up, it's time to get some plants in.
Right, guys, first of all, I want to get these big boxes in position. So this one here, I think I would like just here. The ivy here. Yeah. Then all the other, all up onto the deck in a cluster just... Let's go.
Charlie's placing the expensive pot plants onto the chill-out deck at the back of the garden. Evergreens are great for a contemporary space as they look good all year round. And there's a big hit of colour for the planting beds in the first cube, providing the large dramatic blooms that Jackie said she likes.
I love dahlias, and there's so many different varieties. They come from sort of about 12 inches high up to 2.5 metres high. And as for the flowers, you go right through the spectrum of colour. Whites with sort of splashes of colour, and then also yellows, reds, oranges, deep purples, and almost ones that almost look like they're brown. And then they all come in loads of different flower designs. So from very simple single daisy-like flowers, full on balls that can be sort of almost the size, but I think it adds a bit of
plants.
Oh!
Some mint and some sempervivens.
Perfect. Look at these little guys, right? There we are. One little guy in his root.
Well, sempervivens are brilliant because you can actually pluck away the little small ones and replant them. But when you're looking at creating a living roof, they're a great plant to use because they don't mind drought conditions. And being evergreen, you're always going to have... Well, Dave, I've got to say, I'm actually pretty proud of this. I have 2 pallets and a little bit of leftover wood. You've done a good job.
Also doing a fine job is Steve. He's rigging up the festoon lighting in the entertaining area. Perfect for late evening socialising. The doghouse is decorated. The gravel is smoothed. And the handmade furniture comes in.
Oh, look at that. Well done, guys. Little bit of ivy.
With that, the garden is finished.
You have smashed this one. It's gorgeous.
It is lovely. And I love that the spaces, although they're separate, they all feel like they link together.
Yeah, and they're all different. They've all got a different use, different feeling.
Vibe.
I've got to say, that middle one for me is just...
Is that your favourite one?
Yeah, it's nice and minimal, isn't it? I just love the way you've got different things in each cube as well. Nice little just planting, very minimal the maypole. And then that top deck, nice area to catch the evening sun.
Evening sun, but yeah.
Cooper will still have a bit of fun.
Yeah, well, with the different areas, you know, I was worried that the garden might feel too small, but there's still lots of lawn for Cooper to run round.
It's really cool.
Well, I suppose we better sign over the garden to
Yeah,
them.
They're going to love it, Chaz.
When the team arrived, this plain plot was a mishmash of different materials with no structure. After a £3,500 makeover, it's been transformed into a sleek, modern garden packed with personality. These striking cubes give height and structure, each bringing a different atmosphere to the space. There's a colourful, bold floral display, swings and a stunning feature tree, and a contemporary Cooper the dog. Time to show Jackie and Yang their new garden.
Here they come.
Do you want to open your eyes?
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
That is amazing. Is this the same garden?
Well, the patio is definitely yours.
Yeah, I recognise that.
That's exactly the same.
It just looks so different.
Oh,
Good reaction.
that's
Like
what
it.
you want, isn't it? On the money. Well done, Shaz.
And this is your entertainment space.
Wow, that's lovely.
David and Harry have made you this bespoke bench and table that fits the space. Move it either way, it could go this
Yeah.
way or
Yeah.
that way.
That's so nice.
Well, I've got to say, I loved making that table. Doing a little bit of traditional craft as well with the joints. I think, you know, it doesn't go amiss, does it?
You've got your lighting.
Oh, that looks great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Lighting in a garden, wonderful. But it does add that outdoor room feeling even more, doesn't it? Especially if lights above.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful.
And then over there, the first cube was the colour cube, so that when you're in your kitchen, you look out and you see all these lovely plants. So you see the
I
roses.
love the colours.
That
Yeah,
deep,
amazing.
it's really rich
Yeah.
and glamorous, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we've popped in a few dahlias as well. So this will just be lots of colour that will billow over and soften the area.
Yeah. This is surreal.
Do you like the
I
cubes?
love it.
Yes,
Yeah?
they're amazing.
Is it sort of modern enough
Yeah.
Yeah,
for you?
it's definitely.
Yeah. So that maple will give you lots of dappled shade, but also screen your neighbours out.
Yeah.
Beautiful tree, standalone, gorgeous feature. Great choice.
Sometimes you can just have one tree and it does all the talking.
Yeah.
And when you're sitting down on that bench, having the tree right beside you, beautiful.
But we also thought it's a great area for Cooper.
I did spot something.
Did you spot
I did
something?
spot
That's the
before.
other. Come and then explore. This is what David, the other project, on because they got on really well with Cooper when we did the pitch. It's his cool, shady seating area.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we had a soft spot for Cooper when we arrived.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, how nice to give him a little shaded spot. Dogs always look for a place to lie down. They always have their favourite area.
They do. They run around so much that they need a place just to cool off and chill out.
Especially him, because he's very active.
He is active.
I can see him chilling out there.
Yeah. Do you think he'd like that? Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And he's still got a big amount of lawn area to
Yeah.
play because
Yes.
he's still very young and bouncy,
Yeah.
isn't he?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the other thing that we felt about these cubes, it's added height into the garden,
Yeah.
but without making it like totally blocked off and feel too enclosed.
Yeah.
It feels quite open. So go explore the decking.
Oh, wow. And the swings.
Your swings, the swings, the
Love
fun
that.
bits. Do you like the edge here? We've just got a mixture of perennials that the russet colours and the oranges look great.
Great.
And then we've got a few shrubs that will just fill as well. So big enough space for you
Yes.
to get
Definitely.
a settee
Lovely.
on. And then you're
Love it.
back down here. And do you love your maple?
It's
Yeah, I love
come
it.
up and
amazing.
It's just going to do that sort of shape.
Yeah.
And it gives you shade without it being dense.
It's
And it's a more,
stunning.
yeah,
It's amazing.
it's gorgeous, isn't it? And
Yeah.
it's great because it's narrow, so you can either push it right up against
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fence, or you can have it down that
Yeah.
way. So can you see yourself entertaining friends and family down
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely. I love
Can't wait.
this.
With the team packed up and gone, it's time to find out if the garden gets Cooper's seal of approval.
He's quite a bouncy dog, but when he sees something new, he's going to want to explore everywhere.
I just love it. It's incredible. Was not expecting.
It's quite and it's different.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Cheers.